Welcome to Private Money Secrets. I'm Keith Yackey and I'm your host, and all we talk about here is private money, real estate, and some other fun stuff. Grab your favorite beverage. Let's dive in. What do you do when you just want to quit? Hey, I honestly think that not enough people are really sharing their truth, or the truth, I should say. Meaning, listen, there will be days where you will be up and you will be down. And I know that you guys listen to my podcast, and I know that you watch my videos and you see, wow, man, what a positive, upbeat dude. And I am for the most part. But I would be lying to you if I led you to believe that there are days where I just don't want to do a whole lot of anything. And it's weird. It's this thing that I go through, and maybe you go through it as well, where I kind of just pause and say, what the hell is this life all about anyway? And so sometimes I struggle with, like, why am I working so hard? Like, and what's the point? And do I really need certain things? And blah. And we do this dance. And I just want you to know that you're not alone if you're going through that. I go through that. And now you may be on this podcast and say, I don't go through that. Get to the good stuff. Well, hey, we do these a couple of times a week. So maybe this isn't the podcast that you'll want to be listening to. But if you are struggling, if you do go through times where you're just like, man, I feel like I'm running in quicksand. I feel like I know what to do, but I just can't do it. And I'll tell you, here's a couple of things. Number one, it's really good to tap into why are you doing these things? Because the good feelings, they'll come and they'll go. And I'll tell you, knowing quite a few entrepreneurs that a lot of people follow on Instagram are doing big things, not every day do they feel like Superman. Not every day do they feel like they are God's gift to entrepreneurship. No, there's days where they wake up and they've got diarrhea. There's days where they wake up and they're like, they fought with their wife the night before, or their kids are acting the fool and they've got to go deal with that, or they've got an employee that's acting like an asshole, or who knows, maybe they got some bad acid from their drug dealer. I don't know why. But I do know that it does happen quite a bit to a lot of high performance type entrepreneurs and those that are desiring to be more high performance. So with that being said, here's what I want to share with you, things that I've learned about truly keeping on, even in the face of it doesn't feel like I'm moving forward. And I think that that's some of what happens is you don't feel like you're moving forward fast enough. You're not making enough money fast enough. You're not doing anything fast enough. I don't know. For me, I know I get super like, who really cares? Like, why are we even doing this whole thing called life anyway? I'm not suicidal in any way, shape, or form. But I often have thought kind of nihilistically, like, what is all this about anyway? So here's what I've found. Here's what I've discovered. When you have a plan, I like to call it a game plan. When you have an actual game plan, you go, okay, I want to get to X amount of revenue, or I want to do X amount of deals, or I want to do X, Y, or Z. You put together a game plan. You put together and say, okay, I'm going to do these certain things so that the outcome is as what I want. The reason you have to have a destination and a game plan in the beginning is because you're going to come up with what are those things that you need to do to get to the end result. And I stay focused on those things. Now, the difference between the root of what we're trying to accomplish and the fruit of actually accomplishing it are a couple of things. They're twofold. Number one, there are lagging indicators, and number two, there are leading indicators. Now, what are the difference? Leading indicators are the habits, the processes, the exercise to getting you to your goal. Lagging indicators are the actual results themselves. So let's use this in a fitness example because we all understand that, right? January 1st, all right, I'm gonna eat healthy. So the leading indicators are don't eat sugar. Don't eat a bunch of bullshit and put it into your body. Drink lots of water. Get some good exercise. Leading indicators are how many reps and sets of each exercise are we going to do? Which muscles are we going to work out? That type of stuff, right? Then you don't really see much change. I mean, you see a little bit. And I'll tell you this, and this might be a tweetable tweet. Even fat people flex in the mirror. Ooh, that's so tweetable. I love it. But it's true. It's true in the sense that we can see a little bit of change. If I eat clean for a day, I can see it a little bit in my face. I can feel it in my wrist. I can feel it. Something happens to me. But those are leading indicators. Those are, the reps, the sets, the drinking the water, the exercising, the stretching, the being healthy, these types of things. These are all leading indicators, right? Oh, I was driving and that looked like a cop, but it's not. Damn all of you motorcycle riders that drive cop bikes but are not cops. As you can tell, I'm doing this podcast at the car today on the way to the surf zone. Leading indicators are the plan. Lagging indicators, they take time. Sometimes a month, sometimes 2 months, sometimes longer. And we can, if we don't understand what we're trying to accomplish, why we're trying to accomplish it, and what the goal is, and what the daily processes are of reaching and attaining that goal, we can become highly discouraged because a lot of times the leading indicators, they're not as sexy and as fun as the lagging indicators. They're not as sexy and fun as being able to, I mean, who doesn't love results? I don't think there would be a fat person in America if we could get trim in 7 days. But that's the thing. Anything worth having is going to take some time. Now, you might be saying, Keith, are these all mantras that you say? Probably, because I go through funks from time to time. I go through little spells where my mind's like, fuck it all, I'm done, I don't want to do any of this anymore, I'm just going to surf forever. But guess what? Even surfing becomes like I went on a surf trip recently with my buddy Garrett. We surfed our ever-loving hearts out for like 2 days, maybe 3. And I was so tired after the end of those days, I just said, bro, I'll see you in a few weeks. I don't even think I'm going to surf for a couple weeks. Leading indicators and lagging indicators. So that's one thing you got to understand. You've got to have a plan so that way you can stay with the process. Every day. Stay with the process. I know that I need to do X, and that's when I'm going to get Y. You'll see some progress markers, a little bit of lagging indicators on your way to Y, but in the meantime, you've got to stick with X. Second thing is, if you treat your body like trash, and this usually happens on the weekends for a lot of people. We're grinding Monday through Friday. We're pouring all into our business. If you got a family like I do, which I love having my family, I would rather hang out with my 5-year-old daughter than hang out with anybody else on the entire face of the planet. But sometimes the weekends can get a little squirrely. Party on a Friday night, party on a Saturday night, brunch it up on Sunday. You know, or for you guys, Saturdays are for the boys. You know, Sunday, fun day. These are all little things in our culture that basically give us the justification to fly off the deep end, fly off the handle, head into the deep end, and then just be like, whoa, Monday comes, we're like, oh shit, what happened? So what I have discovered is after a lengthy period of time, whether I'm smoking weed or drinking alcohol or staying up late, not drinking the water I should be drinking. What I'm trying to communicate is if I'm doing anything that's fun with my friends, but that's not exactly healthy for my body, I can notice my body, that includes even drinking sugar or eating sugar and being crazy. I notice that my body starts to tell me different stories, starts to become more emotional, starts to become less sturdy, as it were. My ability to really control my emotions starts to dip. And so what I would encourage you to do if you are struggling with these things is on the weekend to really tone down how much you get weird, as it were. Because that getting weird is massively affecting you. How do you know, Keith? Guys, I love getting weird. It's my favorite. It goes hand in hand with some of the things that I struggle with personally, wondering what's the purpose? Why do all this? I'd rather just party all the time. Only problem is, too much of a good thing is too much of a good thing. We need sleep. Too much sleep, it's a problem. You need food. Too much food, it's a problem. We all love sex. Too much sex, well, I don't know if there's too much sex. At any rate, listen, the point of today's podcast is simple. If you're struggling with some things, sometimes you feel like you're running in quicksand. Sometimes you feel like you're not getting to where you want to go fast enough. These might be some things that will help for you. The other thing, the last thing, would be your focus. Your ability to stay focused on the task at hand and not get peeled off by every other distraction. And for that, we'll have to use another podcast to talk about that. Hope you have an amazing day. Crush your goals. Stay clean so that way your emotions don't get the best of you and you end up tanking this beautiful thing you're trying to build so desperately. So you can live the life you want, you can live it with no regrets. Have a great day. All right, so if you're wanting to learn how to raise more private money, go to www.privatemoneypro.com, www.privatemoneypro.com, where I can show you how to be a private money pro. Take care and go rock it.